We are back, Kenya football fans. I'm your host, Paul Lashope, and this is Ball na Ball, Kenya Premier League Weekly Review. Here are the highlights. Let's start with that final score. 2-0, a result that really shook things up in the league. And this was huge, their first ever win in the top division. What a statement from the newcomers. You add a real underdog story here. The established K.C.B FC against the newly promoted NAIROBI United. The first half was a real nail-biter, super tense. Then right before the break, the game just exploded. And here's how they did it. Just a beautiful piece of teamwork that completely split the defense open. Even the commentary was buzzing, highlighting Shami's incredible vision to set up that whole play. But you know, this victory wasn't just about the players. The fans played a massive part in this. The NAIROBI supporters were the 12th man out there. The drums, the chants, just an incredible atmosphere. Then in the second half, Michael Shadrack sealed the deal, putting the game completely out of K.C.B's reach. So, what does a shocker like this actually do to the league table? Well, it caused a big shakeup. Check this out. NAIROBI United jumps all the way up to 7th, pushing their rivals K.C.B down to 8th. In the end, it was a clinical performance. Great defense, fueled by that passionate support from the fans. We'll have a full game preview when we come back. Let's take a short break. Welcome to Ball na Ball Kenya Premier League Weekly Review. Today, we're diving into a matchup that was, well, truly historic. This wasn't just another game on the fixture list, no way. This was a massive clash that sent some serious shake-up through the league table. So let's get right into it. Alright, in one corner, you've got the seasoned veterans, the established top-flight side K.C.B FC. We all know them as the Bankers. And in the other corner, the new kids on the block. The fearless, freshly promoted team that's been lighting up the league, NAIROBI United, the Nai Boys. Man, this had all the ingredients for an unforgettable Nairobi derby, and you know what made this one so special? It was the very first time ever that these two clubs had locked horns and the top flight of Kenyan football. The stage was set at the legendary Kasarani Stadium for a match that was quite literally one for the history books. So, let's talk about the showdown itself. The vibe inside Kasarani was absolutely electric. You could just feel the buzz in the air, and a lot of that was thanks to the NAIROBI supporters. They brought their drums, their Swahili chants. It was this constant pulsing rhythm that you just knew was gonna fire up their players on the pitch. And listen, the battle on the sidelines was just as fascinating. In the K.C.B dugout, you have a true legend, the experienced Robert Matano. And for NAIROBI United, it's the technical director Salim Ali pulling all the strings. It really was a tactical chess match between two very different footballing minds. Okay, on to the action. The first half, it was a real nail-biter, super tactical. You know, it was this constant back and forth with both sides kind of feeling each other out, looking for that one little mistake, that one moment of magic that could break this thing wide open. In NAIROBI United style, the commentary team nailed it with the phrase, "Ball na oni." It's that beautiful, quick, one-touch, give-and-go football. It's got this flow, this rhythm. They were moving the ball with so much confidence, it was just fantastic to watch. So just when it looked like we were going to go into the break at 0-0, a moment of pure genius just flipped the script. So the big question is, how did they finally break that deadlock? Well, it was a two-part masterpiece. First, you have Shami Mwinyi with an absolutely incredible pass that just sliced the K.C.B defense right open. And who was there to get on the end of it? Dan Omala. And he made no mistake, just fired it right into the back of the net. Textbook stuff, absolutely perfect. And look at the time, the 44th minute, right on the stroke of halftime, NAIROBI United gets the first goal and their fans just went wild. What a punch to the gut for K.C.B, who now had a real mountain to climb in that second half. So the second half kicks off. How is K.C.B gonna respond? Well, they came out with guns blazing, pushing for that equalizer. But the Nai boys, they weren't about to let this historic win slip through their fingers. And this is where you really saw NAIROBI United's character. The Bankers threw everything, and I mean everything at them. But the Nai boys' defense, it was like a brick wall. They were so organized, so disciplined, they just refused to crack under all that pressure. Then came the knockout blow. An absolute rocket from Michael Ovell the keeper had no chance with. That incredible strike from Michael found its home in the back of the net that doubled the lead for Nairobi United, and that was that. Game over. The goal that sealed the deal and secured a massive 3 points. And there's the final score, 2-0. It was a clinical, smart, and you have to say a totally deserved win for Nairobi United in their first ever top-flight match against K.C.B. They didn't just win, they sent a message to the entire league. But wait, the story doesn't end with the final whistle. Oh no, a result like this always has ripples, and this one caused a pretty big shake-up in the league standings. This wasn't just about getting 3 points and bragging rights. This result sent some real shockwaves right through the league table, and it completely changed the dynamic between these two clubs. So let's take a look at the table with that massive win. Nairobi United jumps up into 7th place on 23 points, and K.C.B, they slide down to 8th, sitting on 22. Just like that, the newcomers have officially leapfrogged the old guard. Now, yeah, it's only a single point separating them, but after a direct win like that, that 1 point feels like a huge gap. For now at least, all the bragging rights in this brand new rivalry belong to Nairobi United. So, there you have it, the story of a historic day in the Kenya Premier League. But hey, that's just our breakdown. Now we really want to know what you think. What do you think, fan? Were you blown away by Nairobi United, or do you think K.C.B has what it takes to bounce back from this? Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments right below. We love to hear from you, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.